From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a tropical weather update.
Fred Gossage here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Monday, October 13th, 2025, with the afternoon edition of your tropical weather update. We are still watching the tropical Atlantic for activity, and we do still have a tropical system out there, Tropical Storm Lorenzo on the board as of this Monday. It was named back on Sunday. We'll be watching that over the next few days, but it will be taking a northerly track out in the open Atlantic. Elsewhere, nothing else really going on across the Atlantic basin in terms of activity right now. Here is a satellite view of Tropical Storm Lorenzo. You do notice some wind shear appearing here on the northern side of it, but there is a decent center of circulation with convection here, so it's fairly organized, even though it does have some inhibiting factors with it. You can see a spin out here as well. Upper level low looks to be just off to the west of it, helping provide some wind shear. So nothing too outrageous expected from this. Here's the latest advisory and then the forecast track here for the next 5 days. As of the late morning advisory, the next one is issued at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, but maximum sustained winds were 50 miles per hour, moving northwest at 16. And on this track, moving northward over the next 24 hours and then turning northeastward and moving up toward the Azores as we head up into the early part of the weekend, eventually becoming a non-tropical low late week into the weekend here, but not officially expected to become a hurricane because of eventually moving into cooler waters and also dealing with some wind shear, but this will not be anywhere close to the United States, so not a threat to the mainland U.S. at all. You can see the big cities on the East Coast well off to the west on the map, so not looking at any type of threat to the United States from this system. Elsewhere, we have a lot of frontal type storm activity out here stretching from the Western Caribbean up into the northwestern areas of the Atlantic. We have the remnants of Jerry out here in the central Atlantic, but that's dissipated into a non-tropical system and not really too big of a deal expected with that either. Looking back toward the west coast of Africa, we do have some tropical wave activity out here that we will watch as we head through the next couple of weeks. We do see some extended range model data guidance that suggests maybe this thing eventually tries to get its act together if it can make it over toward the Eastern Caribbean. That's on down the road, more than a week away likely, and that's why it's not being highlighted on that 7-day outlook that we started the update with, but we'll watch down the road. As of now, no signs of United States threat for at least the next 7 days. Now that we have Lorenzo, the next name on the list is Melissa, then Nestor, Olga, and Pablo. We'll see how many more systems we have. We are starting to get into the tail end part of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now we're headed into the middle of October. That's when we usually see a sharp decline in activity, historically speaking, headed into the second part of the month and on into November, but we still can have tropical storms and even occasional hurricanes in the second half of October and in November in the Atlantic basin. So it's not over yet. The Atlantic hurricane season officially does not end until the end of November. So we'll be watching things carefully, but the big takeaway, even though we have Lorenzo out on the board in the central Atlantic, it will be moving northward the next several days. There are no signs of an imminent United States threat from anything for at least the next 7 days or longer. And beyond that, there's no real way to tell. So no worries here on the U.S. coastline, which is certainly good news. The next regularly scheduled tropical weather update from us here will be at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Central Time, with meteorologist Kelly Rawson. You can watch that right here on the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.